What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? We live. We live. We live. I'm about to get the Instagram post up, then we probably gonna get started soon. We probably about to get started very, very, very soon. You already see the clips on the screen. By the way, what's good, y'all? Second live stream back. First live stream was last week. We broke down SGA. You can see by the title, we got Kyrie Irving today. As you can see, as I told y'all last week, we're gonna be doing a quite long progression of Kyrie, going all the way back from 2013. Going all the way back from 2013. Let me actually do this right quick. Let me take a pic for Instagram real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. If y'all got any questions before we start, drop into the chat right now. Drop in the chat. Drop it right now in the chat. Also, let me know how y'all day's been going. How y'all day been? How y'all day been? What y'all been up to today? Anybody hoop? Anybody get they buckets in? Anybody put some work in today? Anybody put some work in today? No way y'all come watch me and not putting no work in, because if you don't put the work in, according to what I'm saying, then it really don't matter. It really don't matter. Especially if you hooping, especially in your high school. Boom, boom. Got that. Give me this right there. Here we go. All right, bet. Just got that posted. All right, what's good, Darian? Kzama, first person sent in the chat a while ago, said thumbnail blatantly disrespectfully to Harden. That's the grammar is quite off, but I get what he's saying. He's saying it's blatantly disrespectful to James Harden, but there's a reason it's a question mark. It is debatable depending on the scenario that you go. That you could say Kyrie is the best ISO player since 2013. Darian, what's up? What up, Darian? Clock 49, what's good? What's good? I'm ready to learn some new reads for real, bro. I'm telling y'all, every single week y'all gonna get breakthrough. Every single week y'all gonna get breakthrough. Like I promise you, you're gonna learn something. Like you're gonna learn something new every single time you pop up on the stream. I guarantee it. I got some runs in yesterday. It's my rest day. Personally, rest days, I don't quite do rest days, personally. If anything, it'll be a lower intensity day, and I cut back on how much I eat. But for the most part, personally, I don't do any rest days. Even when I was hooping, and even if I'm doing like vert training, I always do something. I like to keep my body active. I would vary the style as to which I'll work out at. I'll vary the style of my workout rather than taking a complete day off. And today working on heavy ball handling. Hey, you gotta work on skill. If you in high school, bro, you gotta be working on skill. Like for real. Like in terms of like really breaking it down to a science. Like when it comes down to actually working on skill, y'all don't realize like it's not just like, okay, I'm gonna get some shots up here, get some shots up there. You have to get so strategic, right? If you want to see real results, you're going to have to get as strategic as we're going to get when I break down the second video of Kyrie Irving, right? The first video we're going to watch is just Kyrie reading space. I'm going to continuously drill in on the concept of how elite scorers read the floor and how every single player you're going to see every single year, every single time are going to do the same exact reads. I promise you. Right, and it's gonna be very common even throughout, like if you're in high school or college or even overseas, whatever it might be, whatever your rules are, you're gonna see a lot of these commonalities, and you can take advantage of them. Right, it's just about being able to recognize them. Right, but going back to what I was saying, the second video, right, the second video is gonna be an example of how you exploit from a game perspective, but then I'm gonna also take it back a little bit and bring it to a real live, like how do you apply into a real skills workout perspective. Because it all starts in your preparation before it comes to life. It all starts in your preparation before it comes to a live game. So I'm gonna really go heavy on that concept to where your skills training should really mimic a game, but the skills thing that you're working on should be specific for exactly what you get in the game. You might have to rewind that. The skills thing that you do in your individual workout should be specific to the things that you get in the game, and it's not just doing something random, right? You find the commonalities, you find the patterns, and you hone in on exactly that. So, yeah, there's really a level of detail. There's a reason why you see like the best players be the best players for so long, right? There's a reason for it, and it's exactly that. Like I could really go in, but I could be sitting here for like an hour, 2 hours talking about that. And there's so much to it. It's just all so personalized, man. Like, that's crazy. But I played a game today. I'm a South African hooper. Yo, what's good? What's good? I'm actually African myself. A lot of y'all been peeping that. Congolese and Rwandese. What's up? Fat Cheeto, man. Yo, that's kind of crazy of a name. What's up, bro? Love your breakdowns, man. Love this. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the support, Thomas. When I'm running the ones, I can't get past my defender even though my handle isn't too bad. What should I do to improve? There's a lot of reasons why you may not be able to get past somebody in ones. But personally, if you have a hard time getting past somebody in ones, getting past somebody in fives is going to be quite tougher. But also at the same time, you got to then, ones is a different thing than fives. It's a different thing. The person in front of you guard you different according to just you when you play ones. But when you play fives, it's according to the back, what's behind them. Right, so they'll adjust some things, but it's just still be according to the principle, but it's quite different. But for the most part, do you want to become a good one-on-one player or a good 5-on-5 player? Because if you just want to focus on ones and say, how can I get past somebody in ones, you could get better at that, but I can guarantee you when you get better at getting past somebody in ones, it's going to be another learning curve. But if you learn how to get past somebody in fives while still like being in that situation, it could actually progress you even faster. But at the same time, if you take it to ones, it can make it easier because it's less variables. But it's all depending. You may be not athletic. You might not have the quickness. You might not have the quickness with the ball speed. Maybe you should improve your nutrition so your body gets better. So now once your body gets better, you get quicker. If you have excess fat, it's going to slow you down. That's one thing. A lot of people's body's not in shape, so now they're slower because their body holds extra weight. So now you're literally just slower. It's like putting an extra 500 pounds in a car. The car's going to slow down. It's going to be harder for the car to move forward, right? If the car's heavier, it's harder to go faster. That's why it needs a stronger engine to be able to go at a certain speed, right? Like a truck. You know what I'm saying? Think of a truck opposed to like a Fiat. If you gave a Fiat the engine of a truck, you know how fast that Fiat would go? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand. Like, you got to catch that, you know? And that's one of the reasons some people don't. Do you play in any leagues? No, I don't play in any leagues right now. Not in this time of year. I used to. Actually, I played in men's league for a little bit, but not right now. Not in this season. The Lord has not led me to play in any men's leagues. I'm in a different season right now. Any tips on figuring out how much your body can handle? I always be hurting my knees. I'll say strengthen your knees, then you can figure out how much your body can handle. I personally don't really get knee pain, and if I do, I could get away fast. Like if I have, like for example, like now there's like little knee pain that came in my left leg. It's probably gonna be gone like a week. I'm going to do the right strength training, X, Y, and Z, boom, I'm good. But for the most part, I'll say listen to your body, but then also train your body, particularly train your hips. Train yourself how to load through your hips. Because when you learn how to load through your hips, it's going to alleviate pressure on your knees. And once it alleviates pressure on your knees, you realize that it's not your knees that were weak the whole time. It was just that you don't know how to actually decelerate. That's one thing as well. Train smarter, yes, one way. Pretty vague. Hold on, I just seen another question. Are you a Christian? Yeah, I said before, are you saved? Yes, I'm saved, and yes, I'm a Christian. I'm saved and I'm a Christian. Hallelujah. Praise God. Y'all say you want some scripture in some of these breakdowns? I could drop some scripture in this breakdown today. Hold on. Let me go back here right quick. We go full screen. Let me find this out. Let me move this there. Move that there. Move that there. We about to get started on the breakdown right now, by the way. If y'all like, man, what's taking so long? We about to get started in a matter of 60 seconds. No joke. Here we go. Y'all ready? Same. Hey, what's good? What's up? What's up? Hallelujah. Praise God. Praise God. The best thing I ever did. What are some tips to handle pressure? learn how to dribble subconsciously. That's the main reason why people cannot. That's the main reason why people cannot dribble under pressure. They cannot dribble subconsciously. Y'all don't realize to handle pressure, you can't think about dribbling while you dribble against pressure, because if you're playing 5-on-5, you have 8 other people on the floor that you need to put your attention on. If you can't put your attention on them, you're fried. You're done. You're cooked. You're cooked. You're wrapped. It's grits. But if you know how to dribble subconsciously, meaning that the dribble moves that you make, you don't have to think about them for you to actually do them, and you just, second nature, you just rattle them off like that, right? Then you could dribble against pressure. That's how I learned how to dribble against pressure. That's how I turned myself from being a strictly shooting guard, right? Like meaning all I do is catch and shoot, to now actually being able to be a point guard. Learning how to subconsciously dribble. Thank you for everything. Appreciate y'all support, by the way. Appreciate y'all support. Praise God, man. Praise God. Love your channel. Hope your channel blows up, dude. Thanks for being a real Christian. Hallelujah. Yeah. Praise God once again. Praise God. Appreciate y'all for the support. Tips on getting better lanes to the basket, especially to dunk on people. This first video is going to help you out a lot. So with that being said, let's get started. So, yeah, let me drink some water real quick. So this is a concept as to which I showed in the SGA breakdown last week, but now it's Kyrie, right? And I want to show y'all the commonality that it's not just the SGA thing, right? You got to understand the way the best scorers attack is not just a player specific thing, right? It's not just an SGA thing or Jalen Brunson thing or a KD thing. They all make practically the same reads, but the spots that they get to are slightly different, and how they get to are also different. Meaning that they're going to get there according to what they're able to do specifically, personalized as a player, right? So now we're just going to look how Kyrie reads the floor and how he's able to attack the space that's available, right? So boom, these clips are quite old, by the way. So notice Chalmers here. Also, I got to pull one thing up before we start. I got to get my mark on the screen. Give me one second. I got to get my mark on the screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, bet we about to get started. Let me rewind this. By the way, I'm gonna answer questions. Probably I'm gonna finish through these first set of clips, answer some questions, and maybe in between, if I'm led by the Spirit. But after the first video, I'm gonna answer some questions. I'm gonna do a second breakdown. I'm gonna answer some more questions, and then that's probably gonna be the end of the stream. It's gonna be like an hour and a half. So yeah, let's get to it. Like I said. So notice, right? Kyrie comes off this first screen. I just want you to pay attention to how the floor is spaced. And remember what I told you, right? Remember that when you're in the strong side corner, right? Kyrie's walking down. There's a reason he's at this walking pace, because he needs to observe everything that's going on between these defenders, right? And so if you understand the fact that you have one person here, right? This person right here, he's not a threat, because look how far he is. I don't know why. I think that's Dion Waiters. He's so far from the line. At that point, it's like, dang, he's got to shuffle all the way down. 1 and 2. This is what the game they're trying to play. They want to load up, force him this way, but understand Kyrie's going to make that read. And so what is he going to end up doing? He's going to understand that this player right here, right, strong side corner, will not help, because he's guarding this, a big nonetheless, right? Although they're not shooting threes for real, he's still able to have, guess what? All this room right here. Now watch what Kyrie does. Just watch. Layup. It's simple. And mind you, look, notice this. Jumped off that right foot, because now LeBron's rotating over. And when he goes off that first step, instead of taking a 1-2, Bron cannot time this block over here at the rim. He can't time that, right? So Bron's still on the ground by the time Kyrie's now already going up, right? So boom. Layup. First bucket from Kyrie. Same game. Pay attention. First thing I want you to notice is the spacing of the floor and where Kyrie's head is pointing to. Look at his head. His head is pointed to where? This side of the floor, right? Because that's where people are. You don't need to see something in order to know that something is there, right? It's almost like an anti-type, meaning that if you look at one side, you already know what's on the other side because you see what's already on this side. So in knowing that he has 1, 2, 3, 4 to his left side, he knows if I have everybody on the floor to this side, that means I have nothing to this side, right? And on top of that, Who is over here at the rim? Nobody. Who's playing help at the rim? Nobody. So what does Kyrie end up doing at this point? He looks left, change of pace, goes right, sees Battier step over, bucket. Right? Notice. Got to just see the reads off rip. Just notice, observe Kyrie. I just want to take you through a stop pattern. Went through it first time, stop pattern, slow down. Catch it, look to the left, nobody's in help. Change of pace, attack hard. Battier stepping over. Right? So Battier is now stepping over. Realizing, oh dang, Kyrie drove. I got to come over. So Kyrie ends up making, guess what? What read? He's coming over. I stopped short for a pull-up. Right? He stopped short for a pull-up because he now can't get to the rim. So he pulls up right there mid-range. Bucket. And one. Same concept right here. First thing I want you to notice is a help defense, right? You got Kyrie. My bad for the quality. This is 2013. They ain't have HD cameras. But notice everybody what's going on. This player, of course, is looking at Kyrie. But look at every single other player on the floor. This big who's guarding here, right? His head is looking this way, right? This player who's guarding this chase, guarding that way. Then you have, I believe this is Zeller, right? His man, you can see he's attached right there. And then you have 33. His man is right here. Boom. Right? And guess what everybody is doing? They're all focused on their own man, meaning that Kyrie is in a one-on-one because there's no help defense. And since there's no help defense, what does Kyrie do? Blow by to the rim and get a layup. Easy. He just read all the help and he just drove hard. He also has an empty corner because this man came out this side, right? Empty corner. And so he has all this room to just go and do whatever he wants. He could have sat there and just played with the ball, but there's no need to play with it when you could just go and lay the ball up. Another situation here. Read the spacing. Boom. Lay. Nobody's in help. That's the benefit of playing from the top of the key, right? Notice what happens when you're at the top of the key. When you're at the top, there's not anybody straight up in help, right? Right underneath the rim. They have to rotate over. They all have to step over. Right, so at this point, right, you got Dion Waiters not spaced at this moment, right? So Kyrie ends up making his first attack straight into a help defender. And then you have everybody on this left side who's practically going to be outside the slot. And so with his initial attack going right, that weak side is not going to say, let me come over to the rim. They're not going to anticipate a change of direction because he's going one way. And the change of direction is too fast, which is exactly why Kyrie ends up going to his right side, right? He sees the plug. And then he ends up spinning this opposite way and has a wide open layup because nobody anticipated him going back this opposite way to spin and get into the rim, right? Nobody anticipated that. That's the benefit of the top of the key. People have to step over and play help. And so if you're able to just recognize that and attack from that top, right? And of course, read the floor because when you read the floor, another benefit too is that the person in front of you is only going to look at what you're looking at, or they only know as much as what you're looking at. So if you're looking at everything else except for them in the rim, they're going to think you're trying to pass, but in reality, you're not, and you're able to see gaps to score. That's the benefit. Let's keep going. Against Denver, here too. Patience on that. That was an incredibly tough float. It was incredibly tough for no reason. I don't know. With the left is crazy. Let me go through some of the chat real quick. I'm gonna answer some of the off-topic things a little bit later. How do you get by his primary defender there? It's not about the primary defender. The primary defender is easy when you know the help. He has a fast acceleration, bro. I promise you. I could get, like, Luka will get blow-bys on people because he knows help. It's not even about the acceleration. It's about the change of pace and reading the floor. It's not even about your top speed. Because you're playing in such a confined quarters of the floor in basketball that you're, like, the top speed of something, or, like, even the acceleration alone, right? Just saying, all right, he's able to go from 0 to 100 faster, right? That does help, of course. But someone who's 100, like, that 100... or that max speed isn't like Kyrie or say like a Gilbert Arenas who's really quick or Russell Westbrook, they could still get past somebody because it's all about deception. It's all about deception, which is why Luka would get blow-bys. And you're like, Luka's so slow, he's unathletic, he's fat. He still would blow by you. I promise you, he'll still blow by you. It's not like he's going to body you up the entire time he attacks too either. He'll blow by people, straight up. Does that anyone here really all that instantly? Okay, boom, let's get back to it. But pay attention. Pay attention, right? Because this play, Kyrie's about to get a switch, right? He's going from Ty Lawson to Danilo Gallinari. That's a quite difference when it comes down to speed. So Kyrie ends up getting the switch, right? Notice his patience. He attacks one time. Hold on. Let me stay patient. Let me bring it out right quick. And now what does he end up reading, right? It's all about this right here. Because going from Lawson to Gallinari, the speed, it doesn't matter. Acceleration doesn't matter. Of course, change the pace a little bit. That doesn't really matter. It's like that for him to get past him. So the worry now becomes this man over here. And so Kyrie's just going to relax, right? Play smooth, play chill, right? Let me go back. Play smooth, play chill. Make the read on this weak side, right? He ends up stepping out. Kyrie goes hard, sees that he comes over, stops short, and he floats. Stops short and he floats. Easy money. Easy money. Another situation right there. All them lefty floats are ridiculous. All those lefty floats are ridiculous. It's like, man, he really is the most skilled player to play. Like, he's going right hard and goes off he's going right and then jumps more left with the off glass. And this is 2013, by the way. He's still doing the same thing now. But I don't know, but it's just ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. So I even want you to pay attention. The weak side. I want you to pay attention on this play, right? The weak side and the spacing after the screen, right? He comes here, boom, doesn't get a switch. At this moment, understand what's going on. Everybody is where? To his left side, right? Meaning, because now you got this empty corner. And so even if he can't get to the rim, guess what he has? Mid-range, right? Mid-range. And so now what the main read now becomes is because if he's going to attack him and get past him, he's got to read him, the weak side man who's going to come over and try to protect the rim. So what Kyrie does after he comes off the screen, doesn't get that switch, is that, boom, relax, change the pace, hard to that right side, sees the big step over Sacre, right? You see him right here. Sacre, he doesn't go to the rim. Instead, he does what? He goes for a float. And that's why it's so important that as a small guard, you work on your floater, because you're going to see rotating defenders and you can't be able to finish over the top of them at the rim through contact every single time. Float. Easy money all day. Had to emphasize that. Now you're about to see two plays here, I believe. That's going to be like the same thing. It's going to be like the same exact thing in these next two plays. Right? Very similar. Top of the key attacks. Right? Top of the key attacks. Watch through this first time. You got Jeff Teague. Got Jeff Teague on Kyrie. Goes hard right. Snatch. Boom. Goes back right. Stop. Boom. This is a nasty bucket. That's a nasty bucket. Right? Now he's got Lou Will. Top of the key. He gets his spacing. Watch what happens. Goes right. Chill. Pace. Boom. Stop. Notice the spacing that he's using. Notice the space that he uses. That's the key part. The space. The space. Both those plays, the same thing, same game. Right? Very similar style, similar physique of a defender. Right? Let me not say skill level, but pay attention, right? Spacing. We done talked about this already, right? Kyrie has a screen from Zeller, but guess what? He doesn't want it, excuse me. Boom. Let me go back. Screen from Zeller, right? Zeller goes, slips out. At this moment, what's the space? You got let me go to 1, 2, 3 to that left. Right, you got 3 to that left, and guess who you got to your right? 1 to your right. And so guess what's the space he's going to have, because this defender can't help? This whole area right here. He's going to have this whole area. So what is Kyrie now going to end up doing? Going right, snatch. He stops. He doesn't stop and go the other way. He stops and goes back the same way he came from. Then he stops again and gets him out the frame, and now he shoots that shot. Bucket, right? Now here against Lou Williams, top of the key. He sees the action, tells him to go away. One leaves that side, and that's the whole key to everything. Because now you got back to this 1, 2, and 3, right? And now you got Horford over here guarding the big. And like I said, remember, this player doesn't really help. And if they do, it's going to be little. Something easy to work around. So he has all of what space? All of this space. Same thing, right? Boom, he goes. Got Lou Will. Patient. Get space, stop, snatch. Bucket in the exact space that he started with. Easy bucket. Again, Kyrie, another easy bucket. 2 moves, go, he gets fouled. Top of the key really be the same reads most of the time. It's just a matter of how you set it up. Because you could see the spacing. You got to understand. We done talked about the same concept so many times. You're probably thinking, all right, what if the defender just knows, all right, I got 1 this way and I got 3 this way. So I'm going to make sure when I guard him, I send him this way. right? The thing is, they don't know that every time. They don't know how many players are what direction, because all he sees is this, and he has to rely on the voice, right? These players telling him behind him, right, who is where, what's the spacing like, and the odds of that happening usually as a defense, it doesn't happen. Where there's a player always chirping, and if you do, that's what makes an elite defense, where they're always telling you where your help is, right? But when you're at the top of the key, they're probably just gonna guard chill, not like just straight up, and you're gonna end up getting blown by. So in understanding that, right, you could always make this read and be able to get to your spots, regardless of the level that you're playing at. Because this player right here doesn't see anything back here. And he has to rely on the voice of his teammates every time. So as long as you make these reads and you set it up, you don't give it away too early, you keep your eyes focused on what's going on behind, right? You could make decisions this quick. He gets here, sees the help, one to that right side, no strong side corner. He ends up getting fouled before he even was able to get the lay. Simple. Very simple. And same thing here on this play. Pay attention. You're going to end up seeing a little bit of a counter here on this too. Pay attention. You got Jody Meeks. Goes left, stop, boom, stop, spin. That is counters. That is counters. Because understand, right? He's got Jody Meeks on him, I believe, right? And so he wants to attack this from the triple threat. That's why he caught this inside the arc with no dribble, right? So understand where his initial attack goes, right? His initial attack, if you read the spacing of the floor, it's empty here. All these players are outside the paint, right? All practically, except for one, of course, but nobody's really already there protecting the rim. They have that 3-second call, right? But nonetheless, you got this empty corner. You have all this space over here. You want to utilize space, right? So Kyrie's first go is to that left side. Then he stops because he gets cut off. And so he ends up going back middle. And now in this go back middle, boom, they're already loaded up. He ends up seeing that spin, just playing off a feel, honestly, at that point, and ends up getting his bucket. But understand where the counter started from, right? This counter would not happen. This bucket would have been so nasty, right? Hold on, that screen is nasty. This bucket would have been so nasty if he didn't begin his first attack to where there was space, which made his defender overcommit, cut off, and now he just spins back, just playing in the flow, and gets his bucket. Same thing with here, Stephen Curry. Understand what's going on with the entire floor. He's in the middle, right? Remember, he's in the middle of the floor. And so now in the corners, you have one person loaded up, and you have another person slightly loaded up here too, right? And so there's not necessarily a strong side because he's not on the left wing or the right wing, he's in the middle. But the second that he picks a side is that it becomes a strong side, and then one of these defenders will not end up helping. So now, how about the other two defenders, David Lee and then other big over here, right? They have an action going on. So they're occupied with the movement of what's going on down here because Kyrie's originally supposed to get a screen for this action, right? Understand. He already knows his sets. He knows the reads. There's movement down here, right? So at this point, right, help defenders over here don't matter because they're busy in that action. Whatever corner, whatever side he decides to go to, they won't matter. Whether it's Clay or this player over here, it won't matter because if he's on that side, they're not going to play help. So what Kyrie ends up doing is going early before the play while all the help defenders are occupied, right? He ends up going against Stephen Curry and attacking and using all the space that's over here in this mid-range because now, remember what I said, this corner, Klay Thompson just left. Before you see the tough bucket, hold on, I don't know what just happened. Before you see this tough bucket, notice what happened with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's here. He ran out. You saw that, right? You saw that. Let me slow this down. Klay Thompson, he goes left, just like I said. He picks a side, they leave. Klay Thompson leaves. So now Kyrie's able to do what? Notice. He spins exactly to where Klay Thompson was. Because he ended up going to a side, now your strong side corner, and now boom, he hops out and leaves. He spins to exactly where he was because he's not playing help bucket. He just read the space. Darren Collison here. Boom. Another situation. Bucket over the top. Off the triple threat. Another thing you got to understand about Kyrie, anytime he gets a smaller type of guard on him, he loves to use that triple threat and get physical because he has the skill and the strength as well as a player, the functional strength to be able to absorb and go through all that, right? So in this situation, we already know, we didn't seen this before. Empty corner. So the main read becomes who's going to step over? Him? Is he going to step over? Is he going to step over? Who's going to step over? He just has to keep his eyes up on the attack, and he has all the room to be able to turn the corner and attack this, right? So he just has to make the read. And so what he does, right? Rip right. Second he rips right, he sees this. Sees this right here. Boom, step over. So instead of saying, I got to be very zealous and try to get to this rim, right? Nah, I'm not going to be that zealous. I'm going to stop short, bump into that midi, shoot over the small defender off glass, bucket. And that's Kyrie using empty space. It's a commonality between all great scorers, but the moves that you use and how about you get there is slightly different. But you got to understand the key to all of this is being able to just read the help. Read the help and read the space before you worry about reading the defender in front of you. And I promise, scoring's going to be so much easier at any level in isolation. Don't matter. So boom, that's the first breakdown. We're about to get to another one where we're going to be talking about sets. And we got probably like 4 minutes of clips in that. So let me go through the chat real quick. Let me actually load up this next video. Any questions before we get started on this next breakdown? Yeah, if you went into help, it'll be useless. That's where a lot of y'all high schoolers mess up. A lot of high schoolers and young hoopers, they go so fast that they can't read the floor. Their brain can't process at that speed. Which is why I say it's better to go at 85%, 80% speed than it is to go at 100%, 95. Because you need that extra bit of like that reserved energy to now actually be able to just read the floor, right? And mind you, when you read, you're not having full thoughts. It just allows you to process what's going on. Because if things are going too fast, you can't process what's going on, right? It's like a movie. You don't really need to sit there and be conscious about everything in a movie. You just kind of watch it. You just watch it, right? And basketball should be the same thing. After you study, you play a game. You just watch it and you just do it, right? It just happens. It's subconscious. So, yeah. When he gets cut off, he snatches back. I actually have a video on what Kyrie does when he does get cut off. I have a video I could do on that concept after this, depending on how I'm feeling in the spirit. We'll see. But it's not every time that he's gonna snatch back when he gets cut off. It just depends. It's really feel. That's why you got to go get reps. Like things like that, counters like that, you have to be able to identify for yourself and just feel it out. Because you'll do the move that feels right in the moment, and you can't explain it except for subconscious. That's the only way you could explain it. Subconscious. It was subconscious, you know? That's the only way you could explain it, because, I just got in the spot, and you just kind of did it. A lot of the moves Kyrie does, and some of the things you're going to even see, a couple of the clips in this video, you're going to see that is just subconscious. Like, he'd even think of some stuff, but his knowledge of things prior to allow him to be prepared for what's about to happen. How you can make it a varsity as a freshman. Take heed to these breakdowns. Take heed to the mental stuff. Because if your tryouts are coming up in, a month? You have a month before tryouts. The work that you put in on the court could, of course, improve and help you get better. Right? But it may not be, like, if there's already a big gap, it may not bring that quick, you know what I'm saying? Like that fast results that you want. I promise you, the fastest results I've seen from players are people who actually take heed to the wisdom of the game, to the knowledge of the game, who actually decide to learn instead of just playing all the time and apply the things that they learn. Because you realize that the gap that you have between you and your competition is not physical, but it's mental. It's these things right here. It's like these breakdowns right here. And mind you, I watched literally the titles, no cap, 399 clips. The SGA one, same thing, 659. I just watched Kyrie from 2016. It was like 111 clips. I did that. I watched Jalen Brunson. That was another like 500 or 400 clips. Another boom, did that. Right? Like, I'm really breaking some of these stuff down. And this is a micro dose of some of the things as to which I'm really breaking down. A lot of the stuff I do is from the coaching I'm doing online. This is literally like y'all are getting maybe 2%, 2 to 5% of like the actual all the breakdowns I'm doing when it comes down to Kyrie's film. I have maybe 9 breakdowns or 10 breakdowns from this season, and I'm showing y'all maybe like 2 of them. So I guess that's 10%. But like SGA, for example, I did like 30. I will probably have like 40 breakdowns, and I ended up showing y'all maybe like 2 at that point. But there's so much, but you got to be able to learn the game. You have to identify these things. And I promise you, your breakthrough lies within how dedicated you are to actually learning the mental, not just the physical. Pairing the both two together. So now by the time you play, skyrocket goes through the roof. But yeah. I want to know what I have to do to get some visibility. How to get visibility, how to be seen as a player. I mean, just you can't really like things like that get you worried for no reason. You begin to worry about who's looking at you instead of worrying about what you need to do so that you could just be ready for the opportunity that you're going to get. This is where my faith in God comes in, where I just focus on Him, and I focus on the game in itself. What I got to do, I focus on my own repentance. I walk out my salvation with fear and trembling, whether it's playing basketball or it's anything, just in my walk in general. Right? I just focus on Him. Boom, opportunities come up and I'm prepared because I wasn't so focused on the external. I was more internally focused in renewing myself, changing my heart and aligning my ways with what is good instead of just worrying about what I need to do to please somebody else. That's going to put you in a hole and put you in a trap. Straight up. Straight up. And so how's the best ways to which you could go about that? What's the best way you could go about getting visibility? Everybody gets opportunity. It's a matter of, are you going to be prepared for it? I'm telling you, you're already going to be visible. You're going to be visible in every way that you need to, but are you going to be ready for it? Are you going to be ready for it? And that's where he said, what's discipline or regret? That's exactly the mentality that you have to take in your approach of the day to day. Are you going to choose discipline, which is taking heed to correction, right? Adjusting to what is good each and every single day? Or are you going to live in a place of regret, where time's going to pass by, and since you didn't decide to make the decision that was going to invest in your tomorrow, right? Since you didn't decide to make that decision, you're going to be like, dang, I wish I would have did that. Because you're going to realize that time is just going to constantly keep going by, right? It's going to constantly keep going by. It's going to and fro like the wind, right? And so what are you going to do with the time that's just passing by? Are you going to sit there and let it pass by and not do anything with it? Or are you not going to use it as an investment, right, to your future? Or are you going to sit there and actually say, man, I'm going to use this time, although my body, my flesh doesn't want to do these things, although it takes energy to go up and put some work in to study and to apply things, it also takes just as much, if not more energy to sit back and not do anything at all. I promise you, it takes more energy to sit back and do nothing than it does to actually go and do something. Because as you actually go and do something, you get edified and you get strengthened. But when you do nothing, you just get weaker. And literally, it takes more energy to sit back and do nothing. So what are you going to do? Discipline or regret? You choose. It's your decision. Time is going to pass by. You have a goal. You have a place you want to get to. But are you going to make the investment in the moment and choose discipline and get there? It's a choice. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Invest into your future. Invest into your future. Invest into the things that's going to help you improve. Don't just sit back and just be like, oh man, this is cool where I've been at. Because I promise you've probably been doing the same routines and the same habits for the past few years, and you're expecting something to change like that. It's not going to change until you change and use your change to bring change. You have to use your resources so that you could be able to expand and grow. It's the truth behind it. If I told you otherwise, I'll be lying. Why? I know it even for myself. It didn't take me nothing to be able to get the camera that I'm looking at y'all at. It didn't take nothing for me to get these monitors that I'm watching these games through. It didn't take me nothing to have this microphone that's sitting right in front of me. It didn't take me nothing to have this keyboard that's sitting right here in front of me. It all requires an investment. It all requires some sort of investment. First is your mind, and then comes your resources. Because once your mind has now been invested and dedicated, your heart has been poured out, now you can actually make that decision. Then you will be able to realize that you could actually put things in line so that things could actually happen. You could actually pull some strings so that things could actually happen. Everything you need is already right in front of you, but are you going to go and grab it? Your seat at the table is already ready, but are you going to show up to the reservation? It's a matter of you and choice. I promise you everything is already there as you need it. It's just a matter of, are you going to choose discipline or are you going to choose regret? That's where it all stems from. That's where it all roots from. And so he said, what's that? What's the channel name? That's exactly what the channel name is. That's exactly what my community is called, discipline or regret, for that same concept, that same revelation. That revelation, exactly what I told y'all right there. That's what the channel is called, this channel, discipline or regret. It's been in my mind ever since I was like 15, 16. This is live. But yeah, are y'all going to make the choice to invest in yourselves and to grow as a player? Are you going to actually like push things along, try to get something in motion so you can actually grow? And I'm one of the resources that here that it can help y'all grow. Because even what I'm doing is not even for myself. This is like, y'all already know. You see the cross in the logo. This is not even for me, it's for him. And this is for y'all so y'all can walk in the fullness of your calling. You have a calling, and there's revelation behind the point that you're all at that's going to allow you to be able to get to that next point. And all things that I do, I glorify the one that's above, truly before first and foremost everything. But when it comes down to y'all actually going to make that decision. It's up to y'all. And if y'all want actual transformation, join the community. Join the community, man. I message people 24/7. I have discipleship. I have a discipleship course. I have breakdowns all day, workout programs all day, discipleship, Bible breakdowns, like scriptural all day, one-on-one messaging, direct messaging all day. It's all like it's on go. This is kingdom. This is kingdom. But yeah, this is kingdom. When I say you could triple your scoring average, this is no joke. When I say like there's been people who went from 3 points to 18 points. There have been people who went from 5 points to 20 points. People who went from being a bench warmer on JV to a starter on varsity in the same year. There have been people who've doubled their averages, points, and rebounds just by simply learning. And mind you, it's not even just one people. It's people, not a person, people. I get several testimonies of people who even just watch the microdose. The microdose of stuff, just these videos. Now imagine if you got the fullness of all the revelation. Imagine instead of getting 10% of revelation, you got 100% of it. So instead of getting these 2 Kyrie Irving breakdowns, you got 30. Imagine how much more breakthrough you would end up getting. On top of that, all the other resources as to which will also be there in the discipline or regret community. You got to make your choice. Are you going to invest into your future? Invest into the things that are also investing into you. Because as y'all invest in me, I invest right back into y'all. It's a cycle. It continues to go. It continues to go. It don't stop. So if y'all want to make that investment into your own future for your own growth, I'm right there to coach y'all. Discipline or regret. You choose. But yeah, we about to get back into this breakdown though. Let me see. How do you practically guard your heart? Man, I could get so deep into questions like that all day. But what's the best way I could put it? How to guard your heart? The heart is deceitful. The Bible says the heart is deceitful above all things, right? And so in understanding that your heart is deceitful is because of the flesh. How's the best way to guard your heart? You bring Christ in. That's the best way I can tell you to guard your heart, because that's the only person who will not try to deceive you. Only person, only man, right? Christ will not try to harm you. Will not try to do you no wrong. It's the only way. Every other thing, I promise you, every other thing will bring you harm to your heart. But when you welcome him in, there's a reason his name is Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals. He will heal and he will guard your heart. I promise, by the Spirit and by his angels, he'll guard your heart. But yeah, how about jump shot breakdowns? Eric, it's everything. Jump shot breakdowns. Like it's any question you have, like literally it's direct one-on-one coaching. It's direct one-on-one coaching, community-based coaching, film breakdowns, workout programs. It's being built. I'm gonna say it now prophetically. It's being built as it's gonna be one of the biggest and most like diverse basketball like libraries you'll ever see. The Lord told me to make a basketball library, and I just get downloads all day, whether it's in strength training, on-court training, or off-court training, right? Training the mentor, training the physical, and then training somebody one-on-one directly. It's gonna be a whole basketball library, almost database, to a point where it's gonna be a crazy infrastructure. Like the way it's getting started now, I can even show y'all if y'all want to see how it looks like. Let me even just show y'all what's in there now. The programs that are in there, all that little stuff. Let me just show you if you want to just take a look. But like I said, this is what it looks like. My vert program, the vert program that brought my vert up 10 inches, took me from 32 to 42 inches, and I'm trying to get, I'm gonna get back up to probably 44. Right, vert program, an in-season version of the vert program, and an off-season version of the same vert program. Testimony, different workouts, all that stuff. Right? Boom, right there in the classroom. Now, what you're seeing, like what I told y'all, what y'all are seeing is this. Right? What the stuff I'm talking about is already here. But there's this, and now this is the 2016 playoffs. Y'all didn't see the 2016 playoffs yet. We're still on 2013, right? We're still on 2013. I just did 2016 in the community. And these are 16 different breakdowns, 16 other different concepts, right? So, boom. That right there was 25 Kyrie Irving breakdowns, Now Jalen Brunson. We've been talking about Jalen Brunson. I've been posting about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson versus Pistons. Jalen Brunson versus Celtics. Jalen Brunson versus Pacers. Boom. More breakdowns. SGA. Right? We've been talking about SGA. Jalen Brunson versus Pacers. Right here. Jalen Brunson or SGA versus the Wolves. SGA versus the Denver Nuggets. SGA in the regular season. That's probably, I think, 40 breakdowns. That's another 40. And mind you, I'm going to continuously add things. And then this is the Art of Isolation program, where it literally is going to take you through an entire process of self-examination, right? Videos, all that, right? Videos, assignments for you to now actually grow as a basketball player, right? 9 different phases, which is going to teach you how to repent and renew your mind as a basketball player, right? Phase 1, 2, 3, 4. Still working on actually finishing 7 through 8. But mind you, what we're really focusing on, phase 6, what is practically out, what we're doing, is you're going to see all these players right here. This is a list of players I just have, right? This is a list of players I have at the moment, as which I will break down in isolation, right? And I'm starting with these 3 right here: Shea, Kyrie Irving, Jalen Brunson, right? Why is Tony Parker in there? Y'all are very slumped because in 2009, Tony Parker was averaging like 22 points a game, and his isolations points per possession was immaculate for a player at that time and a player at his size, which is why I'm going to break down Tony Parker. I ain't realized, but I was like, oh, I had to really take heed. I had a really peep game, right? So I was like, boom, throw Tony Parker. You're going to see Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Devin Booker, Garland, Mitchell, Maxey, Peyton Pritchard even, Zed Thomas, KD, Trae Young, Steph, Kobe, Norman Powell, Kawhi, Jokic, Embiid, and more names as time goes along. But so you're going to see all those names alongside SGA, Kyrie Irving, Jalen Brunson, all these different players, right? You're going to see it's going to be a whole database of film and information and things of that nature. So, yeah, and also nutrition advice. I have a nutrition guide in here as well. Art of Isolation. I have other programs I've made in the past. This shooting range extension program is something that's helped people get rid of tendonitis within the community, right? They even realize low key. Then also, like I told y'all before, discipleship. I have a discipleship course. Dribble versus pressure program, right? Boom. Literally, whole program, about 15 weeks in total, right? Of learning how to dribble versus pressure 5 days a week. Boom. If you need it, you need it. Some people ask me, how do you dribble against pressure? That is all the workouts that I did, and then also how I train myself mentally in the workout so I can actually dribble in live games without even needing to go and dribble in a live game. All from home. All from home. And then you're going to be like, oh, damn, I didn't realize that. Then like I said, discipleship. Just had my first video, boom, root of rejection. It's a 40-minute video. Deep revelation in there. Brought scripture, all that. But any Iverson may get thrown on the list too. But yeah, that's how it looks like at the moment. Like I said, you're not just going to see the art of isolation. You're going to see the art of dribbling versus pressure. How to even renew your mind alongside with the program to do so. You're going to see the art of catch and shoot. You're going to see the art of spot up. You're going to see the art of pick and rolls. You're going to see this. Oh my goodness. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. The downloads that the Lord's been giving me to bring y'all breakthrough. To bring y'all breakthrough. It's going to be crazy. It's in my bio, and it's also in the description of this. But it's going to literally be talking every single thing in basketball. It's going to take it from film. It's going to take it from training. And it's also going to be one-on-one coaching. It's going to be all of that in one. And it's just getting built by the second. And I'm on by y'all knowing now, you can't say you didn't know by the time like it's actually going to go crazy. Because by the time it goes crazy, it's not just going to be at the 49 it is now. It'll probably be somewhere around 150 to 200. I'm going to keep it a bean. Because there's going to be so much value within it that I'm going to have to increase it. There's going to be so much more one-on-one coaching that I'm going to have to increase it. But that's what it's going to have to be at some point. But it's just getting built apostolically right now on the low. But y'all got y'all seen the preview here. Y'all seen the preview here. That's how we rocking with the coaching. Then of course, like I said, you could DM me personally at any moment throughout the day. Any moment. Like if I hit end stream right now and then you're in the community, you send me a message, I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And then even there will be a point where I do live streams for the community as well. As it grows, I'll do live streams for the community. Like little, just probably private Zoom calls type of deal. But nonetheless, like I said, we're gonna get to this sideline out of bounds breakdown. And we also gonna get into the word a little bit with this breakdown too. So by the way, if y'all want to join, the link is in the description, and it's also in my bio. And I'm there on the other side waiting with all the gems for your breakthrough. So yeah, that's how you rock. Let me get some water real quick. This is probably going to be the last breakdown for today, probably. All right, but yeah, man. We go back to get back to it. So, what I want to focus on this breakdown is a breakdown of how Kyrie in isolation, right? How Kyrie in isolation utilizes the same sets over and over, and he's just persistent in doing good. I want y'all to remember that for the breakdown, right? Persistence in doing good. Consistency and persistence breeds efficiency. That's gold right there. Persistence and consistency breeds efficiency. That's what you're going to see from Kyrie Irving in this breakdown. He's going to run through the same exact sideline out of bounds set, right? Notice, Kyrie Irving 2013. The ball is going to start over here, right? The ball's going to start here. It's going to get passed here. Then it's going to pass there. You're going to see it in a second like this. Pass there. Kyrie catches. Pass here. Now, the spacing of the floor. We done talked about this in a lot of videos. Kyrie has now all four to his left side, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And he has nobody to his right. Sometimes he might have somebody in this corner. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter too much because if there's somebody there, they won't play help. And so what you're going to see Kyrie do is that in this same set, watch how consistent he is. Watch how persistent he is in doing what is good. Watch. Watch his reads. Catch here, triple threat, jab game. Shot over the top, bucket, right? Notice the same set. Sideline out of bounds, right? You got 33 right here. They're running this little set. Kyrie's going to pop out from this elbow, going against another guard. Triple threat game. Jab, create space, shot over the top, bucket. Sometimes you don't even need a dribble to score. This is why y'all need the triple threat game. You'll make scoring so much easier. Let's keep going. Notice, this is another time. It got cut off, right? This is Darren Collison going against the Mavs. Notice it's the same exact spacing. The ball came out over here. He took the ball out, went there. He swung it over, ran down here, and now Kyrie is going against Darren Collison, has this big gap right here. So what does Kyrie end up doing? Pull up over the top. No, not even a hand. That's almost disrespectful. That kind of is almost disrespectful. Boom. Another bucket. Sideline out of bounds. You seen that pass? 33 over here. Kyrie's got Brandon Jennings on him, right? Brandon Jennings. Catch right there. And now Kyrie loves these smaller matchups because anytime he gets the ball in the triple threat in these matchups, right? No dribble, no nothing. He could have his back turned. He just loves to shoot over the top because he knows how to adjust the shot to get over him, right? And so that's what you see him do with Darren Collison on the last play. And he has Brandon Jennings here. Guess what? Turn it back, boom, over the top, bucket, right? And he loves to catch even deeper as well. He loves to catch those deep, right? So boom. Some other times, right? You're gonna see this too. Other times, right? It may start from the baseline, so the pass may go from here, right, down to here. Then Kyrie's gonna pop out and get this catch, right? And so this is really the true benefit of the triple threat. That Kyrie, even with Maurice Harkless on him, right? Someone who's about 6'7", 6'8", probably about 7 foot wingspan, right? When he's so good in the triple threat that he's able to just know his spacing and know how he's able to pull up without even needing the dribble, and it just shoots over the top. Shoots over the top, right? Easy buckets. Eric, you said, how could I get in? It's just hit the link in the description, and then you're able to join. I'm pretty sure you can use Apple Pay or actual card on there, whatever it is. Whatever is efficient for you. But we got to get to this breakdown. We got to lock in. I got gems to drop. Breakthroughs to happen, right? Again, this is another baseline, right? So they do it from the baseline or the sideline. Don't matter, right? So now Kyrie, he's got, who is this? Jose Calderon? Jose Calderon, right? He low-key travels. He traveled, no cap. They don't be peeping. Right, notice he caught on that right, pivot, switched it. Don't matter. He's got Calderon, shot over the top, missed it. Right, he's gonna make and miss some, but this is the importance, right? Y'all gotta understand, right? They'll do the same set, baseline out of bounds or sideline out of bounds. Kyrie catches this here, travels, right? Pump fake. You see him make all those. He missed it, right? But this is another game. The important part about this is that he catches at this elbow again, right? He has a triple threat here, shoots it, and he knocks it down. And now this is what I want to break down for y'all, right? Right here, Galatians 6:9. It says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at a proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That's why you cannot let your misses affect the shots you'll take in the future, because it will throw off your efficiency. If you as a player decide to let a couple missed shots tell you to stop shooting a shot that you know you can knock down, that's absolutely foolish, because basketball is a game of probability and not perfection. You'll never be able to hit every single shot, which is why if your heart, if your joy in the game resides within you playing very well, you're always going to end up upset because you can never be perfect. That's why in the game, you got to stay persistent in doing good. And that comes with the byproduct of having the mindset of a learner. When you have the mindset of a learner, when you have the mindset of someone who understands that, okay, if I mess up, how can I get better, right? If I'm doing well, how can I even stay efficient? How can I stay consistent? You press in and go forward. You don't fall back and stop doing it. You keep going. You keep going. That's what it means. That's what Galatians 6:9 means when applied to a basketball standpoint, right? So now let's go back to the breakdown, right? Let's go back to the breakdown, right? Let's watch Kyrie continuously stay persistent in doing good, right? Because he, like I said, you like the word said, forget that. We will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Do not grow weary in doing good, for we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I promise you. I promise you. Notice, understand, the same game. It doesn't matter if he makes it. Doesn't matter if he misses it. Doesn't matter if they're up on the scoreboard or down on the scoreboard. It doesn't matter. Guess what Kyrie's going to do here on this play, right? Let me break this down. Catches this. Understand. You can see where his head is looking at this point, right? His head is looking straight over here, right? Looking straight to his weak side. Now, of course, you got this movement. You've been doing this action before, right? You've been having this stuff go on. Everybody's head is already turned. Nobody's really set. But guess what Kyrie's doing? Because now that happens, look at Eric Gordon. He's turned that way. Since Kyrie is looking up like this, he has Eric Gordon looking like this. Because just his eyes and also his demeanor. He's vertical, right? So what does Kyrie do? Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good. Shot over the top. Bucket. Bucket. Let's keep going. Avery Bradley. Caught it right here at the slot. Pump fake, jab. Shot. Don't matter. Bucket. Right? Bucket. Now another one. Caught at the top over here. Right? Notice this. Cross step. Right? Shot over the top. Guess what? Bucket. Do not grow weary in doing good. You will reap if you do not give up. I promise you. I promise. I promise. I promise. So now I want y'all to understand. We're now going to go to the next layer, right? So at this point, we're now going to go to the next layer of this play of how Kyrie not just takes the catch off the sideline out of bounds and just gets straight up into a shot. He's going to get this catch from the sideline out of bounds, and instead of not just only get into a shot, what he's now going to end up doing is attacking, right? Get into the rim or even get into the mid-range. So even at this point, watch how even Kyrie makes these reads, right? So I want to go back to this first play, right? Kyrie, first play, caught, cross step. He moved with that cross step, right? Notice what his defender did. He caught with this one, cross step read, moved with it, and so he shot that over the top. Had some more space, knocked it down, right? And from there, now Kyrie's over here, other side, Darren Collison. Notice how Darren Collison reacts to this, right? He's going to do the same cross step. Cross step, he doesn't move. Collison stays in the same spot when that foot comes over. So that tells Kyrie, oh, guess what? Oh, my bad, my fault. I have this right here, which is the lane down the middle, right? Or down that left side. So Kyrie goes hard, attacks, boom, lefty layup right there at the rim. Bucket, right? Bucket, easy, right? So now notice this too, right? Another situation where Kyrie has the ball. He's going to do the same cross step, but this is from the same sideline out of bounds set. So this is a play and then a counter within a play, right? So understand, these are layers. So now he's got CJ Watson, right? Cross step, he jumps out. But notice what Kyrie did on this play is different. The ball's put down, right? Right? So now Watson jumps out. Kyrie with the ball here, which way do you think he's going to end up going? Especially with the fact that this defender jumped to the middle, and then he has a person in this corner who's most likely not going to help. The best way to go is right, and the ball is in his right hand, right? But notice what Kyrie even ends up doing just to keep his defender on their heels. In and out, boom. Goes and attacks, and is able to get there and get fouled. Persistence. He keeps doing what is good. Keeps doing. Keeps pressing. Understand, another situation here with Andre Iguodala, right? He's got a good defender on him. Iguodala, right? But Iguodala is pressed up tight at the top of the key. And guess the reason why he's able to get past him? The reason why he's able to is because look at all this space over here. When you have more space, this is the key. When you have more space, you have more room to turn the corner, right? So your angles could be wider and you could still get from A to B and finish, right? Because you could go so wide that you're not running into anybody. You could just turn the corner. And so what's going to end up happening here with Kyrie is that he doesn't need to keep a super sharp angle, right, to be able to get past Iguodala. He can use a wide angle. He can use as wide of an angle as he needs to get past him. So he just rips hard, goes wide, and is able to get right there, right, float right there at the rim, right? And if y'all want another gem, I'm going to give y'all a gem real quick about Kyrie's finishing, right? We haven't even got to this point yet, but understand. The reason why Kyrie finishes so great is that he doesn't finish jumping to the rim. He jumps away from the rim. Peep game, right? Every time, because he's going to have help step over, and he always jumps early. He always takes off early. He's beginning his takeoff over here. People try to wait till over here to start their takeoff. Kyrie's jumping from out here. 2 gems, as a matter of fact, right? And now notice where Kyrie's going to end up jumping towards, where he lands, right? He lands even outside, like right by that slot line, too. He started from here, and he landed over here. He's not starting from here and landing over here. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. That's one of the gems, a couple gems right there. Boom, lay. Now notice how he's just going to be able to get to the rim because of the spacing, right? He's going to get to another smaller guard. I think that's John Lucas, right? Notice, understand, same play, all onto his right side. He has this empty corner. Notice what ends up happening. Where does he go? Jab, left side, goes to the rim. Boom, gets fouled from behind, right? Let's keep it going. I'm telling you, this is consistency. Like, this is drill work for him. And mind you, how does Kyrie from this play know how to get to this spot and get to that spot and do these different things? It's because he spent time studying the game. I promise you, you will not. Kyrie is so efficient in this play because he's actually spent time, sat there. When the coach gave him the play, he said, okay, I can have these spots. I need to make sure when I get into the gym that I'm working on these exact shots. That I'm working on these shots. I'm working on these different fields. I'm visualizing different defenders. And I'm actually sitting there and thinking about the spots I'm going to get into, and I'm training those things. Right? He's training his mind. And this, again, is something I was talking about before. Y'all got to begin to train your mind. And it requires an investment. It requires not just an investment of your attention, but even in resources. It's true. And so when it comes down to Kyrie, when it comes down to these players, if you want to attain that level of knowledge, attain that level of wisdom, you have to begin to train your mind. You have to begin to train your mind, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. All the mental stuff y'all need to be able to elevate your game to 5x, 3x, 10x your scoring average is right there in the description. Join the community. Join the community for all the breakdowns. All the breakdowns, one-on-one coaching, all that. I promise you could 5x your scoring average. No joke. You send that 3 points a game, you should average 15. You send that 1 point a game, you could average 10. I'm telling you, y'all put too much work in to waste your mind. Some of y'all this is a word for somebody listening. You put too much work in, right, into your body to waste your mind. That is a word for somebody. I don't know who it is. But I just need you to know you put too much work in to waste your mind. You put too much time into your body, into the gym to waste your mind. You're not even wasting your time. You're wasting your mind. There's a reason our brains have this level of capacity. Right? But when you're playing and you're just going through the motions, when you're just doing the physical things, you can't just leave it at that. You're not going to see progress. Right? Now you're just relying on your subconscious knowledge of things without actually incorporating things to renew your mind and transform your game. You're no longer relying on that. So I don't know who word that is for. You put too much, your weight. I forgot what I even said. You put too much time in your body to waste your mind. Something along those lines, man. That was a word for somebody, man. That's how I even know it's the Holy Spirit. But let's go back to it. Let's keep going. Now Kyrie going against Kyle Lowry. Same spacing. This is the same sideline out of bounds set, right? Forward to this left side. Guess where Kyrie got space? On this side over here. But even as he drives, he's not going to stop reading the floor. He's not going to stop. Because now Kyrie, notice, rip left, boom, right there, float, bump, and one. Pay attention. Now he's got Pablo Prigioni. And this is a very unique play because what you're going to see now here is how a team should actually counter Kyrie attacking off of this play, right? Aside from like denying him the ball and whatever, right? This is how you should counter this play. And the Knicks guarded very well. You see Pablo Prigioni with his right hand telling the middle side to load up, right? Because he wants to take away this baseline. And like I said, there will be times where somebody's in the corner and there's somebody right here in this corner. So what he's doing now is what? Taking away this side, right? He doesn't want him to go baseline because he knows this man can't help too much, right? So he's telling J.R. Smith to come here and load up. So J.R. Smith, you're going to see in a second, is going to come and load up. So he's taking away the space that he has in the corner, right? He's taking away that away, and now he's trying to force him into this gap with this help to force him to drive and then just kick the ball out over here or to somebody swing, just get the ball out of Kyrie's hands because 2013 they only got Kyrie. Keep it a buck, right? You got Kyrie. Dion Waiters was solid. But I don't know what was necessarily going on because he's definitely a talented player. But nonetheless, they're like anybody but Kyrie, right? So boom. Now Kyrie, How is he going to go against this? He's got JR loaded up on the nail. He's got Prigioni taking away this baseline, right? Got JR right here. Boom, taking this away. He's ready to come over and help plug that up. And you got Tyson Chandler. One of the best rim protectors in the league at this time, on the weak side. So how is Kyrie going to be able to get his bucket? Watch. He's here. Jab. Watch. Jab cross. He made Pablo Prigioni bite. And now making him bite to this right side, it expands this gap to this middle. To where now, although J.R. Smith is on this nail, right? Although he's on this nail, he has a man on this weak side. And you even see a flare screen being set here. J Kidd may be able to see it, but nonetheless, it's still something you got to worry about. And this defender on the nail will only go so far. Meaning that, notice, watch what happens. Watch what JR does. He can't even close that gap up all the way, and Kyrie just gets himself skinny, right? He literally comes there, gets skinny, right? So he can be able to get through that gap, right? Puts the ball above his head, right? Ball is above his head. His body is literally as thin as it could possibly get. And so at this point, he's able to go here, and Tyson Chandler guesses where? He's still outside the slot because he's sitting there watching all this. Is like, how is Kyrie going to get through that? But that little jab cross made Prigioni bite and open up all the gap that he needed. Creation of gaps, right? So now he gets here, jumps off that right, and lays at the rim. That is an incredibly tough play, and I'm low-key still in awe. It's like, dang, there's a lot to it. But the only thing that's to which he really read was Prigioni taking away that baseline, making him bite to that side off that move, and then you just simply get skinny. All of it is really subconscious, but it must get to the point where you just kind of just flow as a player. You already know these things. You've been played so much, and you don't have to consciously think about every move that you're doing in the course of the game. That is what the time off the court is should be spent for. I'm telling y'all, invest into y'all minds, man. Join the discipline or regret community. Join, man. You got to teach us how to shoot. I'll teach anybody how to shoot. I'll teach anybody how to do anything when in the community. When I coach somebody one-on-one, I teach them how to do anything. And you're like, man, this is how do you know how to do anything? It's all knowledge. I promise you, I have testimonies of anybody doing anything. There's testimonies of somebody improving in anything. I promise you. Somebody asked me to learn how to shoot, and now they in 1 week they hit the most threes they ever had in the game. 7 threes after last week they wasn't able to do that. Another testimony, somebody saying, "Oh, I didn't know how to play defense." Testimony on defense, testimony on rebound, testimony on a bunch of things. I promise. But now let's go back to these sets. Let's keep watching these sets. That play was a very unique play, right? Elite play. Let me say that. Right, so now, same thing. We're doing the same sideline and bounce set against New Orleans. And this is the play that everybody remembers. This is one of the highlight plays. Remember this? Boom. Crazy tough play on the whole other side of the rim. But you see how many times they've went through that play for Kyrie to already know this? You see how many times? It's not just a one-time play coincidence. You saw all the times they ran that set, right? You've seen all the different spots he got to. This is not just a spot he got to he just ended up getting there. He already knew it before, which is why he was able to attack and make the read to attack in this situation, right? And then when he got to the rim, that's where his just skill and his talent just comes in, where he's just Kyrie, best finisher of all time, right? This is where all that comes in. You have somebody slip out in the strong side corner. He's pressed up. He doesn't have that triple threat shot like we've seen earlier. He can't really pull this unless he drops back a foot or so, right? So what Kyrie does, stays low, jab right there, gets into the body. That bump right there made the foul, right? That bump right there in itself made the foul. But before you even get to the finish, I want you to also notice another thing going on over here too, right? There's a defensive 3-second, meaning that AD, if this was somebody else in a different league, he'll be able to stand right here this entire time, right? And so it would be tougher. So this is not exactly replicable at all levels, right? But the good thing about this too is that you could still engage somebody in this manner and make them not just stay on the nail if you have movement on this weak side, right? So now since there's some sort of movement, it's making people turn heads. It's making people worry about other stuff. And this player who's able to see everything up here has to communicate on those things, right? And so they just have to have awareness. As a rim protector, you need awareness, not just of the ball, but even movement, right? Because if you overcommit, then it could just be a drop-off and nobody helps, right?
So boom, let's go back to this play. So Kyrie lets the spacing happen, lets him drop, and he makes his jab and go once his teammate gets down to the corner. So now Ryan Anderson is not a threat at all. So now, boom, that bump, foul, and he gets here. AD late on that step over. He's not able to take away this whole angle. He's not able to take all this away, right? He's only able to come over from this direction. And so Kyrie literally just finds a sliver of space underneath the backboard, extension of the arm, boom, lay. The best finishers, if you're a guard, you need to be able to finish with the arm extended, like elbow locked, with your elbow locked. You can't see my elbow, but you need to be able to finish with your elbow locked if you want to be a good finisher as a guard. So now let's get back to it. Another play here. Now notice, what you're also going to see here is a progression. Now Kyrie is now going to the mid-range because he's making one read, which is the help. Notice, pay attention, right? Because it's the same exact spacing, right? Same exact spacing. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all to the left, or 4 defenders here to the left, right? He's seeing all of that. He got 4 defenders, and he's got this defender here who's trying to lead him this direction. But Kyrie, great at getting his angles, right? Great at getting his angles, gets low, forces him to drop that foot back, rips over to the right side. But I want you to pay attention to what happens because this bottom man right here, this is what makes Kyrie go to the mid-range opposed to going to the rim. He's the best finisher at the rim, but he still go to the mid-range. But if he's in the mid-range, he can still take, this is what makes Kyrie elite. He'll go to the 3. Then he'll counter in the mid-range and hit you with a step back or a spin. I could go all day. But he sees this. Even after that rip through, he's got to make this read. He's always making this read just because you never know when it's going to happen. So his eyes stay up. He makes the read. And instead of going all the way to the rim, pull up right there on the dime because he's got help stepping over. Pull up right there, bucket. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Catches here, Darren Williams, right? I want you to understand time and place on this play. 3 seconds, right? So what does he have to do? He has to go quick. So at this point, can he even get to the rim? Maybe. But Williams sending him that way, rips through. You're already on the clock. He pulls up. He ends up getting fouled. He just runs himself into space for a pull-up. Because since he has, guess what? All this space on the wing, he doesn't have to take a dribble pull-up and sell his downhill drive. He could take a dribble pull-up and just go out into space. There'll be times where I'm hooping where I'll literally like be at the top, right? Or I'll catch the ball over here and I'll just spam dribble my way all the way over to the other side or something and I'll just shoot a 3, right? Because I may have space. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll come off the screen, something of that sort. You can spam dribble your way all the way down to the corner and just run and get space. I love to do that in one-on-ones. I promise you, if you play one-on-ones at the top, right? If you play at the top, sometimes I'll literally get the catch at the top, and I'll literally throw the ball out and run away and shoot a fading 3 on the wing. That's why like ones is not the same as fives. But in fives, you can do it at times, like you've seen Kyrie do here, where he caught this, and with 3 seconds, he just ran the space over here on the side and ends up getting fouled. Would he have made it? It would have been a very tough hit. But nonetheless, he still put some points on the board at the free throw line. But like I said, quick little one-on-one breakdown intermission. But yeah, boom, shot right there. Same thing. Notice. Pay attention. Now, notice what happens. He's got Ty Lawson. No switch, straight up. You got Ty Lawson right here, right? Sometimes he could just get straight to his pull-up, which is what you can see right there. Boom. That's so smooth. It's so smooth, man. It's so smooth. It's so tough. Like, honestly, I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm not a one-dribble pull-up player. And a lot of y'all aren't one-dribble pull-up players. I haven't got the feel for it quite yet. Once I catch the feel for it, I'll drop the gems. But some players may not be that one-dribble pull-up type of player. But I can tell you this one thing, though. It requires that you sell your drive, right? It requires that you have sharp angles. You're quick. You're angled at the rim to make it really look like you're going to actually go to the rim, right? So at this point, understand, Kyrie, when he even is in this situation, you got to understand who the Denver Nuggets have, personnel. He already knows probably JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee, if you really keep it a bean and don't disrespect, he was a really good shot blocker. Forget the Shaq before, he was a good shot blocker, right? And so at this point, Kyrie catches, right? He gets low, faces a lot of pressure. And understanding that there's a lot of pressure, right? If someone's pressuring you and you sell something downhill, right? Guess what's going to end up happening? They'll probably bite. Right? They're probably going to bite because like, oh, he got past me. Let me get back in front. So Kyrie, with all the pressure, hard one dribble. Notice the toe angle too. And notice where he ends up getting. He started here and he goes right here. That's the same line of a drive. He doesn't start here and go out here because the pressure.
right? He has to sell the drive versus the pressure, which is why he's going this direction and why Ty Lawson, even you're going to see go down here and not even be able to contest because he's still going in the direction in the line of his drive. So he stops, pulls up, there's no hand, bucket, bucket. Now notice here, this is an elite shot right here. He catches. Look at Kyrie's eyes. His eyes are going to DeMarcus Cousins because he knows this is his 5-man right here, right? Or whoever is going to be on this weak side. And now let's let the play progress. Let's let the play progress. All right, he's here. All right, let it progress. Jab right there. All right, so now at this point, once the teammates get space, he knows his read is DeMarcus Cousins because he's the one playing help. And he's not just one playing help, he's flooding, meaning that his defender is on this side, but DeMarcus Cousins goes to the opposite side so that he could play help and stop Kyrie from being able to get to this area and be able to finish at the rim, right? But Kyrie is a savant. He has multiple ways to get to his spot. And so understanding that, you got to know that this player right here, Jimmer Fredette, probably also knows that he has weak side help. Because if Boogie's already flooding on this and we've never seen anybody else flood, the person who's guarding the ball is probably already aware of the play. So Jimmer's like, okay, I just want to send him down in the paint to my help. So when he guards in angles, he's probably going to try to cut off a drive to the rim. He's probably just going to try to lead him to the rim. So Kyrie, in making this read, in his brilliance, right, as a savant, guess what he's going to finally do? Jab, or pump fake. Notice. Let's go back. Flood man, right? Jab, jab, pump fake. Boom, right here. One dribble. He knows the second he puts the ball down, he's coming over. So what does Kyrie get to? One dribble pull up. This is mastery. This is mastery. This is mastery of basketball. Mastery of basketball, right? Mastery of basketball is able to get right here, boom, one dribble pull up because understand the personnel, right? Jimmer Fredette is about 6'1". Kyrie loves to shoot over these smaller guards. Although Kyrie's 6'2" or so himself, his skill level allows him to shoot over these players easy, right? So he's got Jimmer, right? Don't matter. Boom, stop, pull up, bucket. That's tough. Tough bucket. Now Avery Bradley, pay attention, right? Same spacing. I gotta say it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, all to the left side, right? So Kyrie goes where? It's so obvious. Rip right. Boom. He's got help right there, and he just keeps going. That's the benefit of just using space. You could just keep going, right? You go right, you get cut off one time, right? You get cut off one time, he tries to cut you off back into this help, right? Guess what? He's got even more space. It don't matter. He's just going to use all the space. He's going to use it all. He's going to use it all. Boom, pull up as far down as he could get, practically, right? Practically as far as he could get, bucket. Next play. Same baseline out of bounds. Same set. Guess where Kyrie's going to get the ball? And guess who he's got on him? He's got Kemba Walker. Notice how all those last plays, guess who he had on him? Right? Let's go back. He's had Avery Bradley, Jimmer Fredette, right? Ty Lawson, right? Ty Lawson, Darren Williams, end of clock. But now notice this one. Another smaller guard. Who was that? Shelvin Mack? Or someone, I forget. Right? This is 2013. But understand, those are all guards who are about 6'1". All guards who are about 6'1", 6 foot maybe, right? And so what you're seeing Kyrie now get into are dribble pull-ups in the mid-range because he could shoot over these players. If he had a Maurice Harkless or something on him, like you seen him have earlier, he probably can't get to that dribble pull-up, right? But these smaller guards are going to press up, and now pressing up, their angles are going to change, and the angles are going to change. Now he's going to get to a spot, I promise. But now notice, right? Kemba Walker, right here, triple threat, right? Triple threat. And if you understand one thing that the Hornets have, or the Bobcats, they got Bismack Biyombo. And if you don't disrespect, he is also a great rim protector at this time. This is what he was valued for, right? They got Bismack Biyombo. And so he's trying to send him to this middle. So Kyrie rips to that side. And guess who he knows is going to come and step over? Guess who he knows? Bismack Biyombo. So what does Kyrie do? Stop, step back on the second one. Pull up. Not a one dribble, right? It was a 2 dribble. Because you need time to take reads and see angles. You got to understand, right? You got to take time. So the first dribble, right? Boom. Eyes up. Takes the second one. Okay. Boom. You see, you just give a feel in the situation. Then, of course, you got Biyombo coming over. He could probably see that too. So he bumps him, steps back to the right side into where he has a bunch of space, right? And he shoots over the top and he gets his bucket. Oh, my goodness. Mid-range on the smaller players. Got to take note. Another situation. This is terrible quality. My fault, but really not my fault. I just had to continue to put evidence into what we're seeing. Now he's got Ricky Rubio, right? This is like 144p. Crazy. But
We got to work with it. He's got Ricky Rubio, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them right there. All to the left side. So where does he go? Right side. But pay attention. He's not just reading Ricky Rubio. He's got to watch who's going to help. Who's going to help? Right? So what does Kyrie end up reading? Let me slow this down. I got to slow this down. Right? He goes right. He sees him step over. Yo, boom. I can't get all the way to the rim. Stops right there. Gets his bucket. Right? I'm telling you, it's simple. Yo, Zenith, chill. This is the second time you did this in the back-to-back streams. Chill. All right, I'm going to answer questions after stream. But now, once again, I want you to pay attention. Same set, right? But notice what's going to happen. This baseline player right here, Marc Gasol, right? Boom. Right? Marc Gasol's guarding him. But Marc Gasol, remember, he won a Defensive Player of the Year. Questionable. He won a Defensive Player of the Year. Questionable. Nonetheless, he knows how to play defense with his mind. He's not no crazy athletic rim protector, but nonetheless, he knows how to play defense, right? So what's going to happen? Kyrie catches here. He's got Mike Conley. Big comes up, right? Tells the big to leave. But understand, when Kyrie gets down here, it's a triple threat. Marc Gasol, you can see, right? Marc Gasol doesn't leave. He doesn't leave all the way. Look, his man is over here. He's almost flooding like DeMarcus Cousins did. So, right? So Kyrie in attacking, he sees this. He's not just driving, worrying about Mike Conley. Because if it was just Mike Conley, it could be all day he'll just score, right? And so understand. Now, what does Kyrie end up doing? 2 dribbles in, sees Marc Gasol still there. So what does he do? Spin back, counters, tough shot over the top of Mike Conley, bucket, right? He's reading the help, and that led him to the mid-range. The help is loaded up. He got the first step, but now he has to get to his mid-range. This is why you need the mid-range if you're at this level of scoring. If you're already a really good driver, then add the mid-range. But if you're, say, a really good three-point shooter, you need to work on your rim finishes stuff first, right? You need to work on that stuff, because if you can't finish at the rim, it's going to be hard to finish in the mid-range, because it requires a level of strength and movement that you should start really more elementary at the finishing level, to be honest, right? But ultimately, it depends. But I can help guide you if you join the community. Hit the link in the bio and join. Promise you, you're going to get breakthrough. So now, next play. Pay attention. Kyrie, George Hill. Same thing. Got to emphasize it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All to the left side. Same sideline and balance set. Right? So he rips right. Boom. Gets cut off. Bumps again. Boom. Same thing he did against Avery Bradley. He just used all the space that he had in the world. Right? Even at this point, he gets literally cut off. Right? He gets cut off. So thinking as a defender, you're like, all right, bet I'm good. But you cut him off, and he still has space, all this space over here. All this space over here. So he just uses all of it. The help's coming from this way, and he goes the opposite way because he has more space the other direction. And he, guess what? Gets to mid-range off that bump and fades, and he's great at hitting tough shots. And that is how Kyrie has exploited and got efficient and is able to up his scoring average, increase his rhythm off of the same set, playing in isolation. That's that, man. That's that. That was also one of the funnest breakdowns I've done in a while. That was a very fun breakdown. But yeah, man, that's some gems right there. Those are some gems right there. 2 gems of a video. But mind you, I got about 30-something more. I got 30 or something more. But yeah, man, let me go through the chat real quick. A little bit of space. Do you have regular schedule for your lives? Yeah, on the lives I'm doing every Saturday. Every Saturday at probably like 3 p.m. Every Saturday about 3 p.m. That's what we do on the live streams and the breakdowns. About every Saturday at 3 p.m. On the flip side, if you're the defender, should you anticipate your man with a ball using space? You should, but the thing about it is that it's hard to be able to see. It's hard to, because like I said, you can only see in front of you. You can only see right here, right? You can only see right here. So you don't know what's going on behind you. You don't know your space, and that's where communication requires. But as we all know, players don't open their mouths. Players don't speak all the time. Right? So now it puts you on an island. Now you're by yourself. Right? By yourself. You're like, people don't even say by yourself. You're just there guarding like it's one-on-one. Right? You're guarding off the schemes. That's what your coach told you. But when they manipulate spacing and run plays, it makes it so much tougher. Right? It makes it so much tougher. Yeah, Zenith, you just gonna have to rewatch the stream, fam. You have to rewatch the stream like Darian said. Or Darian. You have to rewind the stream, fam. How does he read the momentum of help defender? You just see somebody coming over, right? You see somebody coming over. If I'm sitting down and somebody starts walking towards me, I see them walking towards me.
I don't have to be able to say, oh, their right foot is stepping at an 80-degree angle and it's coming at, and their hips are vertical. And so that means that their eyes are that way. So they're coming towards me. No, they're just coming towards you. You see them walking. You don't have to do all of that. Like, it's literally, oh, he's just coming towards me. It's just like we're overcomplicated. People in basketball gets overcomplicated. You try to think too much of everything. How do I know someone's stepping over? I see them take a step over. I kid you not, it's that simple. I kid you not, it's that simple. But that's the thing with basketball. A lot of people try to overcomplicate it, but it's literally just like, and when you just keep things simple, it's so simple. And there's another great analogy I like to use when it comes down to this. Let me drink this water. You see this bottle in my hand, right? You see this bottle in my hand. This is why spacing always works, and what you see in these videos, right? Quick little analogy, right? This is the most simple way I could break down spacing and why the things you're about to see Kyrie do, or what you just saw Kyrie do, works, right? I have this bottle here. I have my phone here, right? Or say my bottle, right? I have my bottle right here. This bottle right here is taking up space. If I want to be able to get in this vicinity of this plane, I can't get through it because the bottle is there. It's going to require for me to move this bottle somewhere else for me to get here. And if I want to get to my spots, say this is my spot right here. My spot is right here. If I want to get to my spot and something is there, all I have to do is move this thing and I can get to my spot, right? If, for example, if I'm in a car and I always park at the same spot and somebody parked there, it's going to require that I move the car. Somebody has to get in the car and move their car from that spot for me to put my car in that spot, for me to get to my spot, right? That's how simple spacing is and getting to spots is at an elementary physics level. If I want to get here and this is occupied here, let me move this so I can get here. That's how simple it is, and that's exactly what you see Kyrie do, or what you're about to see Kyrie do, if I use this for an intro, right? So boom, that's literally as simple as it is. And that's why players are able to get the spots with so many people on the floor. They move and make space. That's why the space that's created is about 90 and 95% of what what their teammates do, and not just about what you do. Go to my Instagram and watch the clip I dropped about Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson. That's another good clip talking about that same concept. I watch the film, it makes sense, but when I get in the game, it's hard to read the defense for some reason. It's because you probably haven't actually honed in when it comes down to concepts and applying concepts. Like it takes a strategic approach when it comes to applying concepts in order for it to translate to a game. Meaning that you identify your weaknesses and you focus on those weaknesses, and then you just do it step by step. You're probably trying to take 15 to 20 steps at one time, but you have to take one step at one time. Slow down. Right? Slow down. I'm trying to tell y'all, slow down. Slow down, man. But I promise you, if you just focus on one thing at a time, you fix one tweak, one little thing at one by one. It's gonna make everything easier. I promise. Just watch. Just watch. By primary friend, do you pay attention to their outside or no? You pay attention to the help. The thing is, when you watch the help and someone's in front of you, you already know what foot is in front. Why would I need to look at someone's foot when there's 4 other people on the floor trying to guard me? And when I look at their foot, it makes it easier for them to guard me because they know they're just looking at my feet. Now, of course, someone like James Harden may be in isolation and then, all right, to pay attention to someone's foot for a brief second, but his ability to shift focus to go from looking at that to then going to look for help is superb. 1, and 2, he already knows the spacing that he has. He already knows where the defenders are stacked up. And if they stack up different, guess what? He's then now at that point going to adjust, right? So if the defense is stacked differently, and even before he would look at somebody's foot just to see if he could get his angles, right? To see if he could get his angles. Before he even does that, he's going to know the spacing, right? He's going to wait for the spacing, let everybody get spaced out, see the defense load up, and then he may look at their feet to see, okay, what angles can I work with, right? And then he's going to attack, and then he's going to shift focus and get back to the help, right? So that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, it's not about the foot. I promise. If you read the help, instead of going to hoop next time, hey, Eric, I want you to come back and testify next week. So, I want you to go and hoop and watch the help and don't worry about the feet and then attack based on what you see in the space of the help instead of just doing all that. Yo, Zenith, chill. This has been too many times. I'm trying, but like, I don't know. Is it that hard to like just chill? You know what I'm saying? He said, I've been studying your videos at home, and I'm at the library in middle school. My peers call me a tryhard for doing that, and everyone says that I suck, and I'll never make it to the NBA. You're too focused on acceptance. That's a lot of rejection you're manifesting right now. I'm going to be honest. You're trying to prove people wrong. You're playing basketball from a bad route. If you keep going down this route of basketball, you're only, like, when you just think about your soul. I promise you, even if you make it to the NBA and you're like, man, look what I was able to do. I told you I was able to do this. You did everything in your life just so you could be able to tell somebody you did something because they thought you couldn't do it. What type of fulfillment do you think you can get from that? You're going to get nothing. You're going to be empty. I got a glimpse, I got a grasp of it when I got an offer to go to college, and I was like, man, look, I got to college. It made me more empty. It made me more empty. Praise God that I wasn't in that same mindset and even get myself to the point of playing pro in the NBA with that mind. I was still empty. And truth be told, I took a whole year break off of streaming because I was still empty. But guess what? I got saved. And that's why I'm now streaming again, because I'm doing this and I'm already fulfilled. I'm not doing it to be filled. I'm already fulfilled. By who? Christ. By his spirit. By his presence. I'm filled already. I don't need nothing else. Bro, literally, I'll sit there and I'll just be like, God, I don't need nothing. I don't literally just need him. I just need his presence. I need my relationship with him though, before all things. But this even that I do now, it's in relationship with him. To where now I'm already fulfilled. But I promise you, if you keep trying to go and fulfill these things that you're doing, like through other people, right? There's a reason why you came in here spamming, because you're so eager to prove people wrong, you're never going to be fulfilled. I guarantee that. I guarantee. It's literally, you could go from anybody. You could check throughout history. So, don't try to play the game for external purposes and try to prove somebody wrong. You got to re-examine why you even play the game. You got to re-examine why you play the game. Stop trying to prove people wrong. Abide. The best thing you can do is get to know Jesus. If you don't believe he's real, dig until you figure out if he's real or not. And you can say 100%, is he real or is he not? And I promise you, if you go 100% in, you will say he's real, because you will experience him and all the evidence is backed by it. So I'll say start there if you don't believe. But if you already do believe, just seek him. And I promise you'll be fulfilled already. You won't care about what people say about you. And you'll follow and walk in the calling that you've been put here on this planet to do. So, yeah, man. Nah, I don't have a Discord. Crazy thing about the Discord, I had one, and then it got hacked, and then I lost it, and I prayed about it, and the Lord told me don't make another one. He said just make a school community. People who actually want to be invested in growing. And that's the real reason why I don't have this Discord still. Because people just join the Discord and just kind of be there, but really won't take the game serious. But when you plant a seed, right? When you plant a seed, like join something that has a subscription to it, you actually hold yourself accountable. You realize that when you put something up on the line, like when you're like, okay, say you put your money into something, you're going to start taking it more serious, right? That's exactly what happens. People in the Discord don't really take it serious. They take it for granted. And then they don't actually get the results. And they say, oh man, this is not that. This is not. You have to plant the seed. And then when you water that seed by your actions, then you're going to begin to reap fruit. And not just, you're going to reap fruit in progress, and you're going to reap fruit in every way, shape, and form. I promise. But yeah. When it comes to game, yeah, okay, we'll answer that. Boom. Thanks for the clarification. Oh, all right, bet, Eric. We're gonna be tuning in next Saturday, same time. How can I strengthen my relationship with God? Seek Him. Get to know Him, like literally personally. Like get to know His character. Read the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Start there and just get to know His character. And set time apart each day, preferably morning and night. But if you can only do nighttime, do it with a good heart. The most amount of time you can do it with a good heart, right? Invest your time to know Him, to get to know His character, who He is. And I promise you'll experience Him tangibly. I promise you. That's the best thing you can do. Seek Him. Bible says, seek Him, you will find. So if you do that, I promise, you will experience Him. I experience Him every day. I experience Him before the stream. I experience Him now. I experience Him during the stream. All of it. Because I'm attuned to His voice. Y'all think the thoughts that you hear are just from nowhere? No, it's spirits. Now it's a matter of attuning myself to the voice of the Holy Spirit. And y'all gotta do the same, because that's where anything good lies. Peace lies, joy lies, love lies, faith lies, all of it. Kindness, gentleness, all of it lies right there. Patience lies. All fruits of the Spirit lies right there in His presence. I don't want to do anything else but just have Jesus. Truthfully. But yeah, how can I become a 3-level scorer? Hey, Zenith, you guys. Hey, I need you to really meditate on why you play the game. Then we gonna double back. We're gonna double back next week. I want you just to ask yourself, why do I play basketball? And if it's for anything other than like what you may actually be led to in your heart and outside of your own heart, you gotta re-examine what you do. You gotta re-examine what you're doing. 2 or 3 things I should remember from the stream. This is what I want you to do, right? 2 or 3. Honestly, it's 2 concepts at the end of the day. But in order for you to really catch something, you may need to re-listen to it a couple times. So I'm gonna end up posting YouTube videos, but you could go back and watch the stream, of course, and it'll be the full thing. But I want you to do this. This is the best. This is probably where I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm probably about to slide out after this. This is really a gem. If y'all really want to get breakthrough from this stream, do this, right? Go back through the stream. But before you do it, I want you to do this. Write down the things that you need to improve on as a player, according to the team that you're playing for. Right? Write down about 2 to 3 things. Write down about 2 to 3 things that you need to improve on as a player, right? And then watch the stream and look for those things. With those things on your mind, think of those things. I promise when you do that, when you have an approach of intentionality, when you're consuming this content, right? This educational content in in basketball, right? You're now going to begin to identify. You're going to find. If you seek, you will find. Already have in your mind what you're looking for. A lot of people go to look for something without an intention. Like they're just there and they think something's going to pop up. They're like, oh, what's going to happen? Don't work like that, right? It does not work like that. You have to have intent. You have to have intention when it comes down to it. So I want you to rewatch the stream, but before you do it, order is write down 2 to 3 things you're going to need for your team, right? Write down about 2 to 3 things, and then from there, rewatch the stream and look for it. Look for it. And if you didn't find it in the stream, go to another stream that you may think is more on point and look for it. Go to another video on my channel and look for it. Go to my community, join the community in my description, and mind you, you probably won't even have to look for it. I'll just tell you exactly where it is. It's one-on-one coaching. It's your breakthrough. So, yeah, we're gonna be live again next Saturday, probably 3:30 p.m., just about the same time. Or actually, I should be able to. If I'm able to get back home in time, I got an event I need to get to in the morning. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I'm able to make it back in time. I'll let y'all know. Stay posted. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. And if you truly do take the game serious, you want to take your game to another level. And it's not just about, oh, I'm going to watch this just to feel good. I really want to get better, right? You can still benefit. Just apply the concept. I promise you, just apply the concept. You don't have to say, I'm a believer. You don't have to confess directly and be like, man, I'm a believer in Jesus for this to work. Just do the same concept. And the concept's going to work. You're going to realize it's all hidden. Right? But I promise, just do the same thing. You don't have to be a believer for that to work. Just try it. Just try it, Eric. Try the same concept of being intentional with what you're looking for. Just try it. A stream for defense. When the Lord tells me to do a defensive stream. When the Lord tells me to do a defensive stream, I'll do a defensive stream. But at the time being, a lot of the things a lot of people need to work on and grow in is isolation. A lot of people struggle in isolation, meaning just attacking somebody in a 5-on-5 game. Doesn't have to be a James Harden type of thing, just attacking somebody in a 5-on-5 setting. That's what I'm breaking down. That's what I'm teaching in this season, until progress to otherwise. But yeah, so like I said, I should be live again next Saturday, 3:30 p.m. If I do a defensive breakdown one day, Davion Mitchell will definitely be in there, but at some point. And if y'all take heed to that, I promise you're gonna see a lot of stuff. How can I be a Christian athlete? Love God, then love others. Sacrifice being an athlete and become a follower of Jesus. That's your answer, Meredith. That's your answer, Meredith Morgan. That's how you become a Christian athlete. You don't bring Jesus and your sport and put it together. It's not Jesus plus anything. You can't take the label of a Christian and attach it to something that you want and say, I'm a Christian this. You have to be a Christian. You have to be a disciple. You have to be a follower of him. And then if he leads you to be an athlete, you're a Christian. You're Christian, right? And an athlete is just is a thing that you do. You don't necessarily just say Christian athlete. Because that means that you need Jesus so that you can attain these things that you want as a player. Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to make a video on that very soon in my discipleship, in the discipleship course for my community. But it goes deep. It goes deep, but yeah, I got to pray about that. I got to pray about that too, because there's so much, man. But yeah, that's it for today. I'm out of here. Make sure y'all stay tuned. I think there's your bots. I don't know. We'll see, but if it's somebody, somebody got their breakthrough. Somebody got their breakthrough. But yeah, should be live again next Saturday. Stay tuned. Turn on your notifications. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you're tweaking. Right? We're going to continue to be live. We're going to continue to drop gems. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't even matter what you believe. Gems will be dropped. Gems will be dropped. So make sure you got the notifications on. Follow Instagram for updates. I'll be posting my story, posting clips, all that. And discipline or regret. You choose.